From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Hi everybody! Welcome to Guard Our Vote!
Guard our vote!
Guard our vote! Guard our vote! That's all she wrote! Guard our vote! Guard our vote! Guard our vote! That's all she wrote! Okay, so welcome. Every first Friday we have our Guard Our Vote rally here on the corner of Grand and Broadway. Very, very concerned about what's going to happen with our democracy if the Russians keep meddling with it and people keep getting disinformed and malinformed and misinformed about what's going on with our candidates and with our democracy. So we're really glad that you could come here and help stand up for your democracy that you live in and that you rule and control and own, and it's yours. This is put on by Indivisible Ulster 19. So before we start with some wonderful speakers that we have who are going to talk about what's going on with voter integrity and urging us to do our parts, I just want to say that Indivisible is kicking off a week of action to urge members of Congress not to fund the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Protection as part of their September appropriations budget until we know exactly where that money is going and to who. We want those children and those families taken care of in those detention centers. It's up to you. Call your congresspeople. All right, so as part of Guard the Vote, we want to invite speakers here who are going to help motivate us and excite us and educate us on what's going on here in Ulster County and what we can do. And we're going to start with our own Indivisible 19 member, Jeff Collins, who's also running for New York State Senate District 46. No more Amador.
Yeah, no more Amador. All right.
Well, that was close. So thank you. So our democracy is in danger. It's being attacked in many different ways. It's being attacked. One second. It's being attacked by gerrymandering. It's being attacked by voter suppression. It's being attacked literally at the ballot box by foreign governments. We need to defend our vote. But the biggest attack that we have is more insidious, but it's also more prevalent, and that is apathy. That's voter disengagement. That's voters who do not show up. Too many people believe and feel that their voice does not matter, believe their vote isn't counted, believe that they do not matter in a democracy. We need to be the people that talk to them and tell them that their vote does matter, their vote won't be counted, their voice will be heard. And I know when I'm saying that to this group here, I'm saying that to the choir, I'm preaching to the choir. You know, we are the choir. We are the Guard Our Vote choir. We are the Defend Our Democracy choir. We need to embrace the fact that we are that choir. And we need to start singing out about democracy and singing out about taking action and singing out about being involved. So I have a favor to ask all of you, and I know many of you are doing this already, and that is to connect with one of the local campaigns, whether it's Dave Clegg for DA, whether it's the county legislative campaign or a town campaign, get involved. Ask that campaign what you can do to get voters to go from apathy to action. Because we are the choir and we need to start singing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, and now we would like to welcome Odell, who is with Engine, the new Jim Crow, the new Jim Crow Action Network. Very happy to have you here, Odell. If you can make it past the balloons. Do you want it in the thing?
Yeah, you can put it in there. Thank you, thank you. I am really glad to be here because, as you know, voter suppression and voter apathy has been something in our community for a long time. One of the things I want to talk about that happened that I don't think a lot of folks know, that Fred Hampton from the Black Panther Party said in 1966 that you don't fight racism with racism, you fight it with unity. And if we can build unity in the community, we can win. But we also must understand that in certain communities, voter suppression has been happening for years. And we have to realize that. Even the last election of Delgado, when the Republicans used a picture of him that almost made him look like a thug, all right? But that was voter suppression because some people wouldn't vote for him because of who he looked like. You know, they didn't know nothing about his policies. They just knew that the picture of him showed them who they should not be voting for. Foreign countries involved in the and guard the vote in voting in America. Our foreign countries have been the racists that's been coming into the community and trying to make us apathetic to voting. We are now educating folks. I think community groups like this that's out here will encourage others to get involved, to be involved, and as long as we can speak about what's going on, that's the role we will play. Thank you.
Yay.
Yay. All right. No problem. So I'm going to...
Thank you, Odell. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And please let us know what we can do
Absolutely.
with your work.
Absolutely.
All right, and next I have the honor to introduce to you Ashley Dittis, who is our Commissioner of Elections at the Board of Election. And Ashley is she doesn't know it, she's humble, but we so count on you for our election integrity as we're working on campaigns, and I'm really happy to have you here and speaking to this issue, so thank you.
Take this out of here. Okay. Thank you for. Sure, I take it out and I mess it up. We good? Okay. Thank you for inviting me. This is awesome.
Yes,
Friday, 50 days to early voting, 60 days to the general election. Ingrain those dates in your minds. October 26th, early voting is going to start for the first time ever in New York State. 9 days of early voting, 7 sites in Ulster County. You can go to any of those sites. They're vote centers, so they're open to any voter. And you're going to be interacting with new technology for the first time ever. So don't be afraid. Just because there's new technology does not mean that your elections are insecure. Thank you, visual aid. Yes. You can go on our website, voteulster.com. You can see the dates and the times, the different sites. Tell your friends that don't vote every year. They don't have time, they have child care issues, maybe they work a couple of jobs. Early voting is for these people. It opens up the opportunity, it adds many more hours than just the 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. So the state of New York, I just got back 10 minutes ago from our Election Commissioners Association conference. That's all the commissioners, all the deputies across the state. So even in a county like Hamilton County, where there's 4,000 voters, and a county like New York City, where they have over 1.5 million voters, we all deal with the same issues, protecting the vote of our voters. So we're all paper-based. All the ballots are paper-based. That is not changing. There will always be a paper backup. That is something definitely to applaud. So we're lucky. We live in a state that really leads the charge in having elections that are secure and can be verified through these audit processes, but that's not the case everywhere. And that's not to say that there's not room for improvement. So I have a couple action items that I want your help with. Number one, call Andrew Cuomo. There was a lot of reforms this year, put a lot of work on the local boards, transfers of addresses from other counties. That meant that the State Board of Elections, which is severely underfunded, they had to take resources away from cybersecurity in order to transfer those resources to infrastructure, which is a problem. The governor cut the budget for the State Board of Elections.
No!
Bad. Please call Andrew Cuomo, get a hold of his regional rep, call his office. They have to restore these funds. The State Board is very much underfunded. The local boards are underfunded in implementing these new reforms. There's $24 million that were allocated to all the counties, but that's half of what we asked for. So we need more money to secure your elections.
Say the exact ask, like give the sentence.
Tell Andrew Cuomo to give money to secure elections. Cybersecurity.
I think we have a call to action here.
There's a call to action. And it's really important because while we do lead the nation in cybersecurity, we can't do what we have to do without having the money behind it. Another call to action. The boards are very much focused on cybersecurity, but when cybersecurity attacks happen, it happens on a county level. So somebody might get in through a Department of Social Services or a DPW, and they will do ransomware on the whole county. So if our county structure goes down, the Board of Elections is under the county, and then we're not going to have access to our files. That would affect poll book production, ballot production. Just the other day, I think it was the Warwick School District got a ransomware attack. First day of school, they had to close school, people were out of school, and that was an attack on the school district secure network. So it can happen, but it might not be an attack on the Board of Elections, it'll be an attack on another department in the county, but we're all under the same Department of Information Services. So making sure that NISAC, which is the New York State Association of Counties, they are a vested partner, they're included in this, but getting resources to your county tech departments also impacts election integrity. So it's much bigger than just election day or early voting days. It's a huge structure. Then we bring it to the federal government. The House has passed funding bills for cybersecurity investments. Mitch McConnell has not brought it to the floor of the Senate and doesn't seem like he will. So we're dealing with a different Republican Party. In 2000, after the Florida recounts, that's when a lot of these initial changes to elections happened. That was HAVA, that's your Help America Vote Act. Lots of money came through with that. In 16, I had another attack on our elections. The same response has not happened. So we really need to push both our federal representatives, call Antonio Delgado, call the governor, call your state senators, call your state assembly people, and they just encourage them to not just look at elections, but also look at the bigger structural changes, the county structures, because we do have a very diversified election structure. There's 8,800 election administrators across the country. That's huge. So if you do an attack on one, it's not going to hurt the rest. But at the same time, we need to beef up our system. We're all in New York going up to new technology, and we have to protect that technology from bad actors, whether that's bad state actors, bad non-state actors who are just looking to do a ransomware attack so they can ask you for untold amounts of money to release your data. This is the new elections issue. So thank you for bringing attention to it, but there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of calls to make, and it's only going to be a grassroots effort to put the push in. So if you have any questions, I can talk about technology all day long, and I'm always available. Call the Board of Elections, email me. Oh, you have a question? We can get that together. Yeah, we'll make it very easy for you to call. So it doesn't matter if you're from Ulster, great, you've got me. If you're in Dutchess, you've got Beth Soto. But all of your commissioners across the state, this is in the forefront. Keeps us up at night. But we'll get there. We've got our paper ballots. Other states, if you're interested in the presidential elections, not all states use paper backup. That is insane. From an election administrator standpoint, it's crazy. Memory cards aren't going to cut it. You need to have the paper backups. The touchscreen ballots we do not use. We use scanners. We're using ImageCast scanners made by Dominion, but there's another voting system that they're making that a lot of counties are starting to use, and it's not yet determined if those are totally secure. So if you are interested in this, please reach out to me. I can give you a lot of information and we can all get through this together. But don't forget to vote, use early voting, and thank you. Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you, Ashley. We are so blessed to have Ashley. So accessible. All right, and my goodness. We're going to have another speaker, a final speaker, and then I'll say a few more words. Evelyn Clark. She's on the Esopus Committee, and she's running for the Esopus Town Council, and she is a wonderful, passionate Democrat.
Hi. Let's see. How do I begin this? Where do we begin? When I was guess what, Chris? When I was a little kid, my grandfather used to say. He used to tell me the saying. He'd say, "You don't miss your water till the well runs dry." Okay, Ruth knows it. And when I was a kid, of course, I didn't quite understand what he meant by that. But when we look at our voting situation right now in this country, in the United States of America in the year 2019, I understand what he meant about not missing your water until the well runs dry, because we're facing things like voter suppression in this nation. When I think about my ancestors and the people who actually gave their lives in order for us to be able to vote today, and then when I see people who are not engaged in the political process, who take that vote for granted, it really makes me upset and angry and, dare I say, pissed off. How dare you not get up and get off the couch and vote? Yeah! Get up and vote! And I'm so grateful for Indivisible 19, for people who care enough to stand out on the street corner and encourage people to get out and vote. Yeah. Right now in this country, we're seeing voter ID laws coming back into practice in the United States of America. This makes no sense. We cannot stand by and allow our right to vote to be suppressed by any government, whether it's in the United States or outside of the United States. We have already seen in the last election how our votes and our electorate was influenced by a foreign government. This should not be. And on top of that, we know what happened, and our government is not doing anything to make sure that it doesn't happen in the next election. That makes no sense at all. Nope. So we can't just stand by and allow our votes to be suppressed. And we cannot stand by and allow our votes to be regressed. By that I mean they are trying, the 1965 Voting Rights Act has been whittled away at by the Supreme Court. But Congress can do something. They can restore those voting rights that were whittled away by the Supreme Court. We cannot allow our votes to be regressed. We cannot allow our votes to be suppressed. And what we are doing today is protecting our votes. And so I want to say thank you to New York Indivisible 19 and all the other indivisible groups around the nation who have helped us to get progressive people elected to our government. We have to protect Antonio Delgado.
Yeah.
We have to make sure, you know, Faso may have lost the election, but I don't think he's been buried and been retired completely. They're still there. They're still trying to get Delgado out. They may not be out there loudly doing it, but they're doing it. And we have to protect all of our elected officials, those who are fighting for our rights. We cannot just stand by. So we got to get people out to vote. We can't allow folks to just stay home. We got to get out and vote. And we're getting the vote out. We got to get folks who are willing to step up to the plate and be part of the solution. So that's all I'm going to say.
That's great.
Oh, and I want to remind you that tonight there's a rally.
Want to read it?
There's a rally. Everybody's invited. It's a conversation on affordable housing with Congressman Antonio Delgado. This is going to be tonight at 6 p.m. at the AME Zion Church right here on Franklin. So come on out and support those folks that are fighting for tenants' rights.
Yeah. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Evelyn is also running for the town board of Esopus.
Whoops. Hello, hello. Whoops. Hello. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and helping to guard the vote. It's not working. And Ashley asked us for a call to action if we can go see Delgado. And also, Casey wants to know if anybody here wants to do any canvassing for Clegg this weekend, for Dave Clegg, for district attorney. If so, go to, yes, Casey. Hi, so this is Michael. He's the Kingston organizer. He will take your info down if you want to canvass this weekend, next weekend, the weekend after that. You got 8 weekends to join us. We got to get people in power who will protect our vote. So Kingston, if you're anywhere else, come talk to me. Please canvass, or phone bank, or make us dinner. Thank you. Yeah. Woo! And the next card. Ditch Mitch. Ditch Mitch. Ditch Mitch. Ditch Mitch. Ditch Mitch. Woo-hoo! Ditch Mitch.
Ditch Mitch.
You were not a cheerleader.
Ditch Mitch. Ditch Mitch.
Come on, Pete. It's your country. Come on, let's go.